What's good? Good evening. I had to rush from my last meeting to this live. It's a lot going on, but let me first say my hellos and say, how are you doing? I hope your week was well. I hope you stayed prayed up. I hope you got some things that you prayed for. I hope you're staying out of trouble because it looks like these celebrities are not. So we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to episode 40 of Take Me Down a Rabbit Hole, and a rabbit hole it is. We got a lot to talk about, and let's kick it off. Cam the King, good evening, good evening. Says redacted news covered the Giants and the Smithsonian cover up. They've been telling so much truth they won't be around long. They also spoke about fallen angels and Nephilim recently. It's over for them. Oh, really? Hadn't seen that. So the Smithsonian is okay. Yes, good to see you as well. Yeah, like I said, I had to rush to the live. It was so much going on this week. I don't really even know which way to start, but I'm glad that you kicked it off. I didn't know that the Smithsonian was, was covering this stuff. And I'm actually hearing a lot more people speak about the Nephilim. And of course, a lot of people are shutting it down and, having things to say about it. But I am seeing more and more, I guess what I would call non-religious platforms speaking about it. So you're right. I think it's, we're in a weird time right now. And I know someone always says this, the fig tree generation and things like that. It's just, where do we start? Where do we start? Let's talk a little bit about these fallen angels, because I'm seeing a lot of developments and I'm really not even sure where, in what direction it's going in. For instance, Uranus, they just claimed that they found another moon hidden by Uranus. Now, I'm getting a little skeptical about what's a moon, what's a planet, what's a star, and I don't even think these people know. But what I'm noticing is that, again, there's a big push. I don't think I meant to say push. I'm just seeing a lot of these statues, which I showed you. These fallen angels are able to inhabit these type of things. It just makes me wonder, are they erecting them because they are getting ready to come down? Are these, stars about to rear their ugly heads? Is that what's about to happen? And man, it's just so much. And I'm thinking about the one verse in particular. Man, I just lost my train of thought because there's just so much going on. You said they also spoke about alien fitting into the Great Deception. They had Tim. And what's crazy is they're not going to say it's from the Bible. They're just going to make it seem like it's just some ancient information that was buried deep in Egypt and things like that. But they're definitely not going to attribute it to the Bible. And if they do acknowledge that it's written in the Bible, they'll say that it was just because it was copied. We know their game plan, right? We know this stuff. Bring back. Listen, let me read one comment and we'll get down to that. That's crazy. They covered the deal between Eisenhower and the creepy aliens, Jack Parsons being an occultist, and idols being on display today. They're supposed to be independent media, but they've been going off. I think it's coming to the point where there's no way that they can deny it. They can't deny that this stuff is happening. Like I said, they're not going to attribute it to God or, the Bible, but they're definitely coming to the point where they have to acknowledge it. And so, and here's the thing, we're not the only religion, we're not the only people saying that wormwood's coming. I mean, they might not call it wormwood, but other civilizations know that there's supposed to be a star that falls. You know, they're waiting on it. They call it Nibiru and all kinds of other stuff. They have so many movies that you know, depict it. I saw this weird one with what's that chick, Kirsten Dunst, where the so-called extra planet or whatever was coming towards Earth, and you know, they all end up perishing. But they know this stuff, and they don't know it because they believe in God. They know it because these fallen angels tell them the plans. They're anticipating this stuff. That's why they're that's what I was going to say. The part, I want to say it's in Daniel, it might be in some other scriptures as well, but where it talks about they're going to erect a statue and they're going to force us to bow down to it. That was the first thing I thought about when I saw these great big old statues, and then them being at this concert and them waving back and forth. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, it's going to be super duper easy for them to have people bow down in this way. Look what the music was doing to them. That's a weird thing. That's a weird thing to see. So yeah. So oh no, they've been going off talking about DC being run by demons. Oh, I think I saw that too. Yeah. And it's so what do I want to say? They know how to play it certain ways. Like they know how to use this information to their advantage to cause, you know, an uproar, to cause chaos, and then to make things go in the way that they want them to go. So for us, we might be thinking, okay, hey, we need to stay prayed up. We need to be paying attention. We need to be walking circumvently, but they're going to use it to their advantage to cause other people to fall and bow down. It is crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, bring back Cracker Barrel. I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people feel like it's a racist establishment, and I don't know if it ever was. I've worked at Cracker Barrel, and it was nothing but, you know, Hispanics, couple white sprinkled, couple black sprinkled. I mean, but I live in a big melting pot, so that's nothing to us here. Yeah, I don't know. See, what do they say? Everything woke goes to ish. Now I don't know why they keep hiring these whomever, because it's not even just the ladies, because sometimes it's the men too. I don't know why they keep hiring these people that have these certain agendas, and then next thing you know, their 100-year-old businesses fall to the ground. It's just not. It's just crazy. They'll never learn though. They'll never learn. But they have to push this stuff because it has to be like in the days of Noah. It's going to be like the days of Noah and Lot when Christ comes back. So this stuff has to happen. We might think, oh, it's going to get better, you know, and a lot of people think, oh, Trump came in, he's going to get rid of all this stuff. No, he's not. This stuff might clear up a little bit, and we might see, you know, it might seem like a form of utopia on the rise, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Last week, they covered the Masonic roots of DC. They spoke about God on the 2 million viewer platform. Wow. They're done. They spoke about demonic politicians and rituals they do. Wow. Did not know that. Are people going to believe now? Will people believe now that it's not just being spoken under the guise of so-called conspiracy theorist? JBJTV Hoopland, hello and good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah. Are people going to believe now? That's what I want to know. They're Catholic, so they're doomed. Listen, hopefully a lot of people wake up, you know, before then. I guess I'm kind of wondering if they're going to make another big push to force people into more goddess worship, because and because that's the only way that a lot more people are gonna bow. Because a lot of people are they want to get rid of the patriarchy, and then you got the Catholics talking about Mary. It's got to be a big. Oh, you changed your account name. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Everything is racist today. The word racism carries zero weight. The word's overused. I mean, there's so many words that are overused, in my opinion. I'm not going to say I don't know what things mean anymore, but with regular conversations with people, I have no idea. I'm like, we need to define our terms before we start talking, because they're changing a lot of words. It's kind of cool to see people in the chat who aren't believers but trust the info they put out to start questioning things and ask if God is real and this stuff is true. Yeah. And that is a good thing. And I think a lot more people are going to start turning their hearts and minds. But I mean, a lot more needs to be done, because they're working even harder as far as the people that they've put in place. I mean, like, they're working even harder to try to, and what's funny is their witchcraft is not working. Like, a lot of these people's witchcraft is failing. But so they're gonna have to try something real tough. It says men's hearts will fail due to the fear of things coming up upon the earth never seen before, like the days of Noah. Noah lived before the flood among the Nephilim. Exactly. Yes, I do believe there's a creator, but not the one they are pushing on the world. No, absolutely not. And speaking of words that are kind of lost their meaning, I hate to say it, but when people throw around the word Christianity or Christians and stuff like that, like I heard, I was watching some podcast today, and I didn't even know it because I come across, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Kendra G, but she has this dating show on YouTube, and she's got an app and everything like that. But they did a clip of her today, and she's one person that professes to be a Christian, but now she's going to have a psychic on her show. And the psychic is going to help people look for love. And she's like, yeah. And people were calling her out about it. This is what I saw. People were calling her out about it. Like, I thought you said you was Christian. And she said, well, she tried to make it seem like there's different forms of Christianity. And then some Christians can, like psychics, and some don't have to. I'm like, what scriptures are you reading? Like, it's one thing to be a sinner, right? Because we're all in that realm. It's one thing to do that, but it's another thing to go out and start promoting your sin as if it's not sin. Like, that's the stuff that makes me upset. Like, just call it what it is. Say you're not supposed to do it, acknowledge that, and then do what you're going to do. But don't try to act like, oh, there's nothing wrong with freaking talking to the dead. And then most of the people that watch your show look like you. And so what do you think is going to happen? And you don't even have a man, let alone trying to bring a psychic on there to help people find a man. Like, it just don't make sense to me. Redacted News also spoke about bloodlines of the Nephilim and demonic, and how these bloodlines still rule today and yield massive influence. Within the last 2 weeks, they completely went in. Yeah, I think I've even seen that. And oh man. And I'm also wondering why they're talking about bloodlines a lot. So not only are they, just bringing to light the fact that the Nephilim, truly exists, but I'm even seeing in Science News that they have this new strain of DNA that they claim they found. Now, this is what I think they're about to start targeting: the Hispanic population. I know that sounds crazy, but in these conversations, they don't really bring them up too much, right? It's usually white people. They'll talk about black people or whatever, but they always leave the Hispanics out of the conversation. So now they are talking about having this. They claim that we are made up of 3 different species. This is them. They claim that we're made up of the Neanderthal, that we're made up of some other something stupid, and then the Denisovan. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this lineage right here is supposed to hold a lot of the DNA or have the same characteristics in their DNA that Hispanics have. And I say, here they go. Here they go. They trying to make sure that they get everybody wrapped up in this stuff. Everybody's going to get it. Do you believe that we are supposed to be set apart from the world? I believe we are, but that's my belief. I do. Yeah, I think we are supposed to be set apart from the world. I think we're supposed to be, what does the scripture say? We're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. Yeah, I think that's what it is, because it can't be of the world and not in it. We have to be in it. Obviously, we live here, but we're not supposed to be of the world. And the world is speaking about the Gentiles, the pagans, the heathens, those who are non-believers. We are not supposed to be lined up with them. We're not supposed to be doing what they do. We're obviously not supposed to believe in what they believe. So absolutely, I think that we're supposed to be set apart. And it is hard. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a saint. It is hard to be set apart. But they were even bringing this up as far as the gospel singers were concerned. They had an award show not too long ago, and they looked just like they were dressed up just like they were going to the Met Gala. You know, like the funky costumes, you know, boobs pushed all up to the chin and all that kind of stuff. They were, you know, bodycon type dresses. The gospel singers were dressed just like you would see at the secular award shows. And so it's like, okay, the 13 bloodlines, yeah. And I wonder where, because again, I know that the Asians have, and they're saying that this whole Denivan or whatever comes from Asia. So I know that the Asians have a bloodline within the 13 bloodlines. Obviously, the white, you know, folk have a part in it. I don't think that any black people do. I don't know where their line would pop up, and I don't know about any Hispanics. So but they got to get to them some way. They sell Jesus like he's some weak, loving, all forgiving God. They don't mention the part where he says he'll come from a flaming sword out of his mouth, and the blood from the killed ones will run. So I know it wasn't a conversation, but somebody had said something to me today, and I was like, Jesus talked more about hell than he did life. Because there's a lot of people that figure, okay, well, we shouldn't be worried about the next life and what's going to happen. We should only be worried about where we're at today. Please. The next life, so-called, is going to be eternity. So why wouldn't we think about it now? These people think that it's going to just be, see, the adherents of purgatory, there's 2 different sides. So there's one part that believes in purgatory. So they think that they can do whatever they want to here. They can deny God here, and then they're going to be able to go to purgatory when they die. Somebody's going to be able to pay a little bit of money, do some sacraments or whatever, and get them and bail them out. And then the other side thinks that it's going to be a big party, or that we're just going to be extinct, you know, just nothing's going to happen. You're just going to be asleep. But none of that's true. None of that's true. You're either going to be eternally with God, or you're going to be eternally separated from God. And he said that separation was going to be the weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I don't think he's talking about weeping for joy. So I think it is high time that we start thinking about eternity. I don't know what these people are talking about. In 2025, I learned that some versions of Wicca is labeled as Christianity as well. Whoa. And yes, she's a female proclaiming what men want is funny. Whoa. I didn't yet see. That's another thing. When anytime somebody mentions Christ, they assume that it's Christianity. Heard someone say a lot of atrocities have been perpetuated in the name of Christian. I said keywords perpetuated in the name of. That's different from what a doctrine is teaching. Like I can believe I can be a head buster all day long, but if I go to the scripture and he said don't bust people's heads, then me busting head does not mean that I'm doing what I'm told to do. Like people just make me upset with their illogical minds. Deep, it will take 7 years to clean the battlefield. Birds eating the flesh the entire time. Yeah. What's the guy's name that wrote the book about the bloodlines a while ago? There's a few. Spritzmeyer. His name is funky. What's his first name? Fritz Springmeier. He writes a lot about the 13 bloodlines. I'm not sure if that's who you're talking about. But yeah, I've read a few of his stuff. Yeah, I don't know if he was one of them or if he's just been a researcher this whole time. Let me look him up. Fritz. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a Be Wise as Serpents book that's really good. He's also got one, I think that's just called The New World. I mean, the 13 Bloodlines. Matter of fact, what's he up to these days? And there used to be a show. It was called, let me see if I can see it in the background of his thumbnail. And you might be able to still see it on YouTube. They used to have shows like you can look around your house and find all the occult things. And the guy was, he was an ex-witch, or I guess you would call him a warlock. He's a man. But he was helping people go through their house and find out all of the occult things that they had brought in. It's not saying what he's up to, but yeah, he's a really good one to listen to. Hell is going to be hot. The passages before his crucifixion are revealing. It spoke of Abraham's bosom as being paradise, and the man who went suffering for eternity, begging for water, could be seen from paradise. Yeah, exactly. Wanting a cool cup of water. Oh, I'm actually, obviously, you guys know I'm researching for Egypt, and man, it's so many things, but one of the gods, you guys will not believe this, one of the gods, guess what his job is to do? Or I think it might be a goddess. His job is to bring them cold water. His job is to bring them cold water in the underworld. Why would stuff adds up? Stuff adds up, and people think, oh, it's a fairy tale. Fairy tales don't come true, boo. Keep thinking the Bible's a fairy tale if you want to. These people that don't even believe, not gonna say they don't believe in God. They know they believe in God. They just don't follow him as God. They know these things. Bringing them cold water? Gotta be kidding. Sounds like multi-dimensional place to be able to see both and be in one of them. Yeah. But I think it's also part of, I don't want to liken it to astral projection, but I'm going to liken it to astral projection. Being able to be taken to, the third heaven or, wherever and be able to see it. except for obviously you're not going with demons when you go. You're actually, in the spirit with God. What's up, Freddie B? Say yikes, it's always tied together. All the myths of ancient times basically speak of the same little gods. Yeah, exactly. And that is what's so baffling about it. When people, oh, it's a myth. Okay, yeah, they might have written it like a myth, but I honestly believe that these myths are what these people were actually experiencing. And they wrote it like that. That's just how they saw the world. That's how they related to it. But there's no doubt in my mind that they were actually in communication with these beings. These beings told them their name. Why would all these civilizations, and here's the thing, all these civilizations is the same God being passed down through different civilizations, and the only thing that changes is the name because the language has changed. But these are all the same gods. The gods from ancient Egypt are the same ones they worshipped in Greece, the same ones they worshipped in Rome. They just had different names. Biblical angels are wild-looking creatures. It's crazy. The modern-day image for angels is so far off. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't want to, just the way that it's illustrated in the Bible, I wouldn't want to see an angel. Mm-mm. Like, I can see why, besides being huge, I can see why people bow down and, didn't want to see him, bowed their face to the earth. Seem like some pretty scary creatures. And honestly, with these statues being as big as they are, I think there's a reason why they make these statues that big. This is what these people have seen. I think I told you all about that one rapper. I want to say his name is it Immortal Technique? I want to say it is. But he's got some nasty, nasty raps. And not because he's trying to be nasty, but just because he was deep into witchcraft and then he ended up seeing a lot of stuff. And so anyway, long story short, he says that at one point, I think he was going to, I don't want to say he was going to his mama house, but he was going to hurt whomever was in the house that he was going to see. But these people were prayed up and there was a big old angel. He said that was outside the house that was huge. There's just a reason why they're making these things this big. You saw him in the Lil Nas X video. You saw him in the concert. Looks like a Woodstock type of place. Mm-mm. Oh, I know. I could. Ooh, scary, scary. Imagine how the Most High is going to be. Yeah, because they said that the earth is his footstool. I'm not gonna say they said. The Bible says. Yeah, we definitely see an angel and be terrified. Definitely. But it's crazy because you have people that say, "Oh no, I sit with Satan and talk to him all night." What? But obviously he's probably not some scary, scary looking character. I mean, I've heard him just be described in different kind of ways, but it's just crazy. And then to bring back to Lil Nas X, people trying to tell me that, oh, well, people commit atrocities in the name of Jesus. Yeah, they do. But the devil got y'all walking butt naked on the LA Strip. That's what he has. That's what he has these folks doing. I didn't post the video when the man's drawers were off. He ends up taking them drawers off and was walking around butt naked downtown. And then you got TMZ, who always happens to be in the right place at the right time And did y'all notice there were no cars, there were no buildings? Oh, it was no people out there. What in the heck were they doing there? I mean, you always come in with exactly. Exactly. And now they're trying to blame it. I saw a report come out saying they're trying to blame it on friends and family that are being shady and stuff like that. Okay. What about your friends and family being shady got you walking around butt naked? Hmm? Where they do that? I know Lil Nas playing for mocking Jesus. Yeah. And now he's gone out of his mind. And it always happens that way. Every time they do the mocking and thinking they got the last laugh, they come out looking like a fool. Literally. And I ain't gonna lie. I saw that and I mean I don't know if I snickered, but it wasn't snickering because I thought it was funny. Ha ha. I was like, man, this is what happens. This is what happens. DMX was really getting more into the Bible before he passed away. Yeah, he was, and they hated that. They hated that. Everywhere that man went, he prayed. They were looking at him crazy every time he did it. There was some people that would bow their heads, close their eyes, but most of the time, his people were looking at him like, "Why would we do that?" But I think the Lord always had His hand on him. But sometimes we get to straddling the fence, and so we see things like, it's dark and hell is hot, and him talking to Damien. But I think, especially because he admitted that he started seeing, Damien for who he was, which was good. Because if he didn't have the Lord on him, then he wouldn't have been able to see it. Sorry, I gotta put this on screen because that's hilarious. Yep, paying for mocking Jesus. They all mooch. Oh, they wait. They all. I don't know what that is. Jesus. Do a simple Google search of how many rappers portrayed themselves as Jesus. There's hundreds of pics of them hanging on crosses, wearing a crown of thorns, etc. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Nas did mock Jesus. Yeah, he did. Yep. You can hate me now. He did. Tupac did in him and Scarface in the Shine. It's not Shine. Sorry, Smile video. Um, obviously Kanye. Kanye definitely. Um, even though even though they make it like it was a praise and worship type of song, I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of documentary, he's coming out with the documentary. I saw because we were just talking about him being quiet last week, and then next thing I know, they say he has a documentary coming out. Let me see if it'll tell me what it is about. It's called In Whose Name? I don't even know what that's supposed to be about. It's going to be 3,000 hours bearing witness to brilliance, breakdowns, triumphs, turmoil, paranoia. Oh my goodness. and ooh wee. I'm gonna post the thumbnail when we get through here. His face is all darkened out, and then he's got one eye that's kind of bright, and then the other side of his face is all dark. Tell us without telling us, Kanye. Tell us without telling us. My. DMX sounded like a 48-year-old veteran menthol cigarette smoker. I mean, yeah, but I think he always sounded like that. I don't get why people like Kanye so much. He's one of them people he speaks out about. I'm not gonna. I'll say that I don't know why people like him now. But old Kanye, oh, I definitely see it. Oh, I definitely. Uh, Genius might be a strong word for me to say, but you know, good producer. He was good at what he did. I loved his albums. I'm not gonna lie about that. It wasn't guns and killing and this and that. It was but but it got real weird, real weird. Yeah, celebrities are part of those 13 bloodlines. Yeah, but it's got to be far, far down the line. Like who is Kanye related to? You know, Kanye and those symbols galore, huh? Yeah. And again, we don't. I mean, is this Kanye? Is this who? Is this him? Because I feel like it was directed by Nico Ballesteros, I guess, Ballesteros. I wish I knew who he was because I'm wondering. Oh, Nico is what they call him, a documentary filmmaker, is a fly on the wall behind the closed doors. His discernment and stealth with the camera has allowed him to capture corners of the spiritual, psychological, and historical zeitgeist of American pop culture in the 21st century. Mm. Yeah, okay, Nico. I bet he into some stuff. I can't name one Kanye song off the top of my head. Guess my memory is crap, but I never really listened to his music. Yeah, I mean, he had, like I say, he had. I thought he did. I thought he had good music. Kanye do got good music. Yeah, the good song life is good. Yep, yep. College Dropout, just was a good album. Um, but I just don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that these celebrities are falling like flies. And listen, I don't know how much coincidences are playing into this because just a couple weeks ago, Tamar Braxton and Tony Braxton were on live. And Tamar said that she was going to get off because she was going to go do some Bible study. She was going to go read the Bible. And Tony said, "Why are you doing that? That was written by a racist white man." Now, I don't know what racist white man Tony was talking about. But Tamar said, "I got to get off this live because you pretty much going to get us canceled or whatever." Now, just a couple days ago, Tamar claims that she was found in a pool of her own blood with some teeth missing. And I didn't even think about the conversation that she had with Tony until just now. The only thing that I've been able to think about was on the Braxton Family Values. I don't know if you guys ever used to watch it, but Tamar used to play around a lot with the Lord. There was one episode in particular, and this is when I was like, oh, they got her. They were standing around the piano and they were so-called writing a gospel song. And Tamar kept trying to add weird stuff in the song. She kept wanting to say like on your knees. It was just, yeah, let's just say on your knees. And it wasn't like yeah, okay, we'll pray on our knees. But it was just the way that she was saying it, on our knees. And then she was throwing up the devil horns at the same time. And I said, oh, they got Tamar. And ever since I've seen that, she's just been a troublemaker. And so I don't know if her mouth has gotten her in trouble, or maybe her actions, because I heard they're saying that she was running around with somebody's husband or whatever. Or did she violate the code by claiming that she was going to go study the Bible? Because even I want to even might have even been Kanye. Somebody just came out not too long ago saying that they could not say the name Jesus at Rock Nation. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You said, I remember when G Unit was hot. Yeah. And then it got weird, right? And then they got weird, and then supposedly Young Buck, he was found with a trans, and then denied it. It just got weird, and the only person that stayed on top was 50 Cent. I'm not saying anything besides that. The only person stayed on top was 50 Cent. Most gospel is not of God. I think that they've definitely strayed away from. I mean, it sounds so much like secular music. When I do listen to gospel, I listen to old. I try to listen to old gospel, because they'll slip some stuff in here these days. Again, that's why I had to stop teaching praise dance, because it was hard for me to pick songs. I didn't want to do Kirk Franklin. I didn't want to do, people that I'm like, I know doggone well you're going to have us gyrating in the pulpit. Yes. And just like I was saying earlier, people were noticing that even at the award shows, they were looking like the secular artist. So it just blurring too many lines. I remember that interview. Yeah. It's getting crazy. They have brought demonic oppression upon themselves, and she's taken the self-deliverance route, reading the Bible. Yeah, you can tell that she's one of those ones who she's gotten herself into something, and now she's trying to run away. She's always talking about not that it's wrong to say pray for me, right? But she's always talking about her mental health. But again, at the same time, she always in some mess. I mean, I hope she gets the deliverance that she's seeking before they take her out, but Don't seem like mocking God is the right way to go. Yeah, you got a little bit of fame, a little bit of fortune, but now you somewhere sitting around with your teeth knocked out. Lil Nas X, you got your manhood out on the LA Strip. So and here's an I don't want to say too much because I'm about to drop this video. I don't want to say too much, but I remember. Do y'all remember Young Pharaoh before stuff went down with him? He was a YouTuber, and I don't even know why I was watching him for a while. Then I realized that he was into that stuff, but they got mad at him when he started talking about how the Egyptian gods and stuff were gay. Just wait. Just wait. I don't know why they were mad at him. I mean, if you do your research, I don't know why they were mad at that man. But these are the idols that they follow. This is who they are. And Tony Braxton, you over here talking about racist white man. Look at here. You are married to a bisexual man. This is what the devil gives you. This is what the devil will give to you. You don't even have a man that just likes women. You got one that liking and kissing on men. But these are the rewards. These are the rewards. Um, these are the rewards. Oh my. Most of these rappers are fruits. Yeah. Um, oh, I'm trying to think of the clip that I saw. It's just a big push. It's just a big push. He was on, I guess he was on some kind of streaming with what's that big old boy named Drewski? And Drewski or whomever there was there had them rapping some real gay lyrics, like sucking on a bone type of lyrics, some stupid stuff. And Lil Baby even looked like, wait, are you gay? Like, what? And I thought they almost had him putting them tattoos on his thigh and all that. I got 25 new chicken finally after the 6th day. The stupid birds know to go to the coop at night, have pea brains. Oh, cool. 25 chickens. Now, I always heard that they were smart, but that's pretty awesome. And you said they can lay at least one egg a day. um, what else? What else have I seen? Um, now you have 68 chickens. Is that a handful? I felt like that would be a handful. Maybe because I just watch they're always running around and stuff. Um, what was I gonna say? They catch on sometimes it takes a few days when teaching them new stuff, and I'm impatient since my others already do as I want. Makes sense. And I wonder, do the other chickens teach the new chickens? Or how does that work? Let's see what else. What else have I seen this week? I felt like I went through talking fast. Most of them free range, so it's easier. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of land out here, but it's not farmland for real. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, we talked about that. We talked about that. Think they said the birth rate hit 1.3. Yeah, population is decreasing. It's like monkey see, monkey do. When them once wait with them once one does something, the others pick it up every night. The first one lines up, and one by one they go for the night. Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I produce like 90% of my own food. The other 10% I buy from local farm. Yeah, I'd probably be out there hanging out with them chickens. I ain't gonna lie. They seem like pretty cool, some pretty cool characters. Um, so my post for this live was being a little messy, but they apparently found the Jet magazine article where Janet Jackson and the DeBarge brother had announced their pregnancy. And so people are wondering, where is Janet's baby? Where's the baby that they claim they had? Jet magazine and Essence and all them seem to have captured a lot of things um, back in the day. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff people they don't keep it around. But it feels like we're going through a Mandela effect. They're trying to change so many different things. And if you don't have the cereal boxes and the magazines and whatever from back in the day, they can just tell us anything. They can just tell us anything they want to. But yeah. Um, the internet is dangerous. They rewrite facts all the time. Yeah. I know sometimes when I go and I'm like researching things and you can look at the date of the article, it's always like 2024, 2025. It's very rare that I come across articles that were written a long time ago. So I don't know if they are changing things. I don't know if they're updating things. I don't know what they're doing, or if these pages are just now being made. I can't tell. Wait, I'm confused. I thought Nope was JBJ TV Land, Hoopland. No? Am I tripping? He ain't saying nothing. I guess not. I'm confused. A lot of old truther stuff I once found on the web doesn't exist anymore. Mm. And I think, well, I know that I can go to old sites and the website might be up, so the reading information might be there, but the videos are always down. So I guess I haven't really tried to go um and check it out, to be quite honest. I think I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. But no, you're right. Cause even I don't know if you all remember, there was the beginning and end website had a lot of stuff on there. What's that guy? Karash, Yash. What's his name? Yash Karash. He might still be out, but I think he mostly did YouTube videos. Yeah, there was a lot of YouTubers that, but I think they've had to change their names. So I've actually lost contact with a lot of them. Yeah, the realest videos always get pulled. Yeah, real quick. Um, yeah, real quick. Like I've had to start putting my stuff up on multiple sites, unlisted, obviously, but just so that if they do erase my stuff on YouTube, I still have them. Wait, I'm so confused. Nope. I thought that you were JBJ TV Hoopland. You said you changed your name. What was your name before? Because I thought you were Nope. I'm so confused. It still surprises me how some people can speak truth forever and some make a few statements and get deplatformed. Yeah. Yeah. I always wonder that too. I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater, you know, to the ones that can navigate that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wonder that too. I know a lot of people had to go to Rumble and BitChute. Oh my goodness. It's still Nope. Oh my gosh. So then, well, hey to everybody that's here. And I'm sorry if I mistook you for somebody else. But I'm definitely thankful for everybody that shows up. It's still Nope. I've been asleep the whole time. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you had a good nap. I hope you had a good nap. Um, we've just been talking about what happens when you worship the devil and he puts you on Hollywood Boulevard. And Lou Duval had a great question. Why is it always Hollywood Boulevard? And the first, right when I saw that, when I saw his little meme, the first person I thought of was Professor Griff, and him talking, Griff talking about Tevin Campbell. I said, "Oh my goodness!" But that's a good question. That's a good question. Is it because Hollywood is I want to say home of witchcraft, but it's like the home of witchcraft? Because witches started the city. And the holly tree, the holly branch is a favorite for witches. And that's where Hollywood gets its name. I mean, it also ties into Christmas and all kinds of stuff, but the nap was good, but unexpected. I just blacked out. Oh, okay. Mm-mm. Yeah, y'all. It's getting crazy. But what do you think? Okay, so one of the big indoctrination centers is schools. But are you noticing that there's a big, I mean, not that there hasn't always been, but I think more and more people are pushing for the homeschool. Even so much so that there's one state where they're going and knocking on your door. If you're homeschooling, they're coming and knocking on your door to make sure that you are teaching what it is that they want you to teach in the way that they want you to teach it. So it might even come to the point where a lot of these indoctrination centers are losing ground because people are understanding that this is what it is. Like, I sent my child to college and then he came back with blue hair and he's stupid, or my child came back and now they don't want to be my child anymore. They don't want to be, the girl that they were, it's always something. So I think a lot of people are waking up to it, and the government is seeing that. Did I see what did they do? Because I think I've seen a few things about Texas public schools. I've seen a few things. I know they're one of the ones with I think they might be one of the ones adding the 10 Commandments. Yeah, I was gonna say they brought the Bible back into the classroom. They incentivized schools to teach the Bible just passed, and schools had adopted it. Whoa. How do y'all feel about that? See, I always try to think about the other side because I feel like I'm to the point where I know their agenda so well that I mean, that's great. I don't know if I like it in that way because they might not teach it right. There might be an agenda behind this. And I hate to think that way because it sounds like a good thing. But even people today, even people that say that they're believers, go into the scriptures and twist it all up. Or you'll have the people that wanted to say certain things, like I keep on seeing. I hate when I see it. It's just so stupid. Um, they'll say things like Jonathan and David were lovers and stuff like that. And just simple passages that can be read and then taken out of context is what they're going to try to do. I just know it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm here for it. I don't know if I'm here for that. Like I want them to be prayed up. I want them to know. I just don't want people to take advantage. I went to Texas public schools in the 90s. They taught the Bible, had the Christian flag in the class, and after the announcements, there was a moment of silence to pray. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember I don't remember the Bible being, well, I wasn't in Texas in the 90s. Um and where I was, I don't think they ever taught the Bible. But there was a moment of silence. There was definitely that. And there was even some time for you to take out a book and read it, on your own time. And, some students would bring the Bible. So I do remember that. yeah, I just don't want it to be mocked and trodden on. You know what I mean? You know how the Bible says don't throw your pearls before swine? It's going to be too many swine in there for that. But at the same time, you know, they might be thinking, well, heck, what else can we do? They're seeing the Satan Club pop up. They're seeing the statues pop up everywhere. They're obviously seeing the push for indoctrinating the kids into alternative lifestyles. They probably are running to the Bible at this point. I think about the kids who wouldn't hear the word because their parents aren't believers, but will get a taste of it now. Now that's a good point. And there are kids that what do I want to say? I feel like kids definitely know there's a God until they're told that there is no God. Because scripture says that their faces are always, what does it say? Their angels, how does it say it? Hold on, let me pull it up. Their angels are always facing God or something like that. So they know God. But until someone says that he's not real. Because I ain't gonna lie, it was easy for me to believe that God was real when I was little. I didn't want to die and go to heaven and pray all day. I did not want to do that. But I did believe that something other than us, something bigger than us created everything. It's actually worse because if the spirit behind the Bible teaching is just more darkness, then that would actually be worse because they'll just be a modern Pharisees manufactured. Exactly. Yeah, it can just get into the wrong hands. And just how they claim that whites were able to enslave Black people because of, twisting and changing the Bible. It's going to be so easy for people to do that. I don't know. I just don't know about that. 100% of the parents in 2025, I learned that in Washington, D.C., the Greek god veneration, how education like chemistry, politics, pharmacia, and many more are arts that America are based on. Oh, I know. When I realized that they're literally teaching us the occult in school, I'm right along with you. Yeah. Geometry and all that kind of stuff, all occultic. All of it's occultic. Yep. And so like we're so well versed in the occult, we just, you don't even know it. That's why I feel like it was easy to see. Like it was easy to see after coming from the inside and coming outside and like, oh wait. Oh, I remember that. Oh, okay. This is how this correlates. Oh, okay. It's clear as day. Clear as day. That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Chemistry. I was so good at chemistry. Oh, I could, man, chemical reactions. I could do that with a snap of a finger. Come to find out, you trying to take me down the alchemy path. Trying to make me an alchemist. Yep. We even set a type of pledge of allegiance to the Christian flag, not just the American flag. Oh, really? Dang. And you know what's crazy at that time? And obviously there's always been school shootings and things like that, but it wasn't like what we see now. There were fights at school, but kids weren't getting shanked and dying at school. I've never seen that. Nope, nope, nope. There's a lot of stuff that you did not. Yeah, it was kids with, colored hair, but it wasn't no flames just walking down the hallway. I knew one gay guy, one. Wasn't no trans. It wasn't nobody. Oh, I think I'm a boy. No, it was none of. It was none of that stuff. I think deep down everyone knows, but people choose to reject him for a life of self and separating themselves from sin doesn't sound fun. Well, yeah, that's what the Bible says. Everyone knows there's a God. Everybody. We went super secular since they took the Bible out of school. Most societies are more secular leaning now. That wasn't the case in the early 1900s. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I can't even just the difference. I could never, and I feel bad. I feel bad for the kids that are in school and stuff right now, but could never have gone to school back in the day. I mean, at this time. Mm-mm. And then you're getting failed out of school and stuff for just disagreeing with certain ideologies and stuff. Couldn't be me. Nope. I'd be at the house. Well, think about who created the curriculum. Well, yeah. Dang, there was one lady who said that her dad was um I'm not say partnered with the Rockefellers, but pretty much had a hand in the education. I gotta remember who that was. She was talking about her dad had a hand in this stuff. Rockefeller said he wanted a nation of workers, not thinkers, and that's exactly what they've done. That's exactly what they've done. You ask these people a question, these kids a question, they all it's the same exact answer. Everybody parrots the same exact answer. No logic, no rhyme, no reason, just parroting what they've heard other people say. They put a lot of money into alchemy in the 14 to 1700s. I believe it. Since they got us all, What's crazy is I don't know why they want us to learn it. If they want to be the gods and they want to have the authority and, live forevermore and kill us all off, I don't know why they want us to know about it. I mean, but nothing that they do makes sense. Plato is the father of the Western civilization, and Plato himself had to contradict his own teachings to deny that God doesn't exist. Yeah. I mean, all them, I mean, they are smart, right? Philosophy is a great, you're able to bounce ideas and things like that. But when I realized um sophism, sophistry, where we get the word sophisticate from, when I realized that that's pretty much how the law system works, I said, see, I can't do this. I cannot do this. So if you're not familiar with sophistry, sophism is when you take the weakest part of the argument and make it strong. And if you notice, just listen to these rainbow cretins when they're being interviewed. Just listen to how they answer questions and you'll see exactly what sophism is. And it works on some people, but ain't working on me. I said this before, but in high school, we drove to school with our deer rifles. Okay. And shotguns in our trucks mounted and nothing ever happened. Most of us carried pocket knives too. Oh, wow. No, we didn't do all that, but that's awesome if you could do that and, you know, not have any issues. He said, "What did you miss so far?" We talked about Lil Nas X and how he mocked the Lord, and now look at him. Brought up Tamar and how she was mocking the Lord, and look at her. We've talked about Uranus having a new moon that was found, and how I believe that, I don't know if we're really talking about moons and planets. We might just be talking about stars and how they're building all of these statues all around the world. And then some of the scholars are talking about how those statues can be demon possessed. And so you see these people at these concerts pretty much bowing down to these statues, and, just foolishness. What else have we talked about? Oh, we talked about how they claim that we are 3 different species, and now they've claimed a new strand of DNA that they found in us that came from Asia, but has the characteristics of what Hispanic DNA now. So, yeah, as usual, we're all over the place. Kids nowadays disrespectful. They didn't get a good black eye when talking crazy to other people, so they have foul mouths. Now they say the bravest things. Yeah, that, and I think a lot of kids carry these days. Like you said, you guys had rifles and stuff at school. I mean, we had our hands. It would go down behind the trailer or whatever. But again, knifing people, and hell no, people weren't doing that. They fought, tore each other's hair out, and came back the next day. I don't know what these kids are on. And you see so many of them. I ain't gonna lie. Some of these kids, I wouldn't like. Would you dare say anything to them? And I mean, like what they do to their parents. They're killing their parents off. I just saw a guy. His mama wanted him to mop the tile floor. He put 15 bullets in his brother. I don't know what his brother had to do with anything, but killed his own brother because his mama wanted him to mop the floor. They'll kill their mom and dad because they want them to put the video games down, or they want them to do their homework, or just, it could be anything. They want to take a bath. I've seen the man, they just wanted their son to take a bath, to wash his ass, and he killed them. So just as there's a group of children whose angels' faces are always pointing to God, there are other kids who are the opposite, and you can just see the evil in their eyes. I don't know what they're teaching kids. My 8 and 12-year-old nephews didn't know the months of what of the year or days of the week till this summer. I asked, when is the 4th of July? He said November. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. They said that these kids can't read and write. They said some of these kids can't even go to the potty by themselves. And if I didn't know someone, I wouldn't say they're personal to me. They worked for me for a little bit, and their brother was 10 years old and didn't know how to wipe himself. He would just wipe doo-doo on the wall. And he's the 4th of July in November. I can't believe it. But what are they teaching these kids? They ain't teaching them nothing. All they're teaching them is gender ideology. They don't know how to tell time. They don't know how to count. They don't know how to read. Man, we had home ec and everything. I learned how to sew. I learned how to cook. I mean, my mom's that's what she did in the military. But I'm just saying, we learned life skills in school. I guess they want us into witchcraft so that we would stay in slavery forever. That's what they want. But everybody ain't going for it. They want, again, they want us to curse ourselves so we'll be enslaved, thinking that there's no way out. Oh, absolutely. But again, if you can look at a Lil Nas X and say, you know what? I think worshiping the devil is a good idea, then, by all means. By all means. But you've never heard out anybody's mouth that Jesus, well, they'll say it. Let me not lie. They'll say it. But it's not supported in the scriptures for them to be down bad like these people are who worship the devil. The internet has made people lazy and stupid. Yo, have they? Have they? I know some of these parents are just disappointed. I always thought the same thing about Burning Man and celebrities. They are modern idols. People worship them. I mean, that's why they call them stars. Like, this star thing is deeper than we know. Again, I'm not going to tell too much because I'm going to drop this video soon, but this star thing is deeper than we know. Yeah, Plato essentially ended with something to the effect of everything at which derives and exists in the universe relies on some form of wisdom that governs existence, but said wisdom. Oh, yeah. Which is crazy. See, it's just too many differing opinions. Because, okay, you acknowledge that there's wisdom, but then there's other people say, oh, the earth is not, there's no wisdom here. There's no intelligence in creation. Like, what? There's no intelligence in creation. I'm like, the sun rises and sets. It's been burning for how many years? There's no wisdom? Okay. I just have to let people have some stuff. Yeah, we didn't kill each other back then. We beat each other to a pulp. Some of your best friends would have started by fist fighting. Yeah, I don't remember anybody just dying like that. And they do it out in the open. They don't even, and I'm not saying that we should, right? But it's not even, kill you, leave your body behind a building. These people like, oh, I'm gonna get you out on the football field. I'm gonna get you right in the parking lot. They don't even care about getting caught. Nothing like that. Everyone cries racism today. Back then, it wasn't a thing. Everyone clicked up with everyone. It was about how you carry yourself, not how you look. Yeah, I mean, there's certain places, obviously, that you go and they still have the rebel flags and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for the most part, it was, yeah, it definitely wasn't about that. Yeah. Doesn't mean there's a right or wrong way to exist within said wisdom, but he also stated that everything that is created is governed by said wisdom. So which is it? Yeah, which one is it? Yeah, again, like you said, contradicting himself every step of the way. Contradictions. I'm very intrigued by these witchcraft to Jesus, Kundalini to Jesus, New Age to Jesus testimonials on YouTube. These people become so fervent for God. Seems hard to bounce back from Tamar and Lil Nas. Well, I've seen quite a bit of testimonies. And for instance, man, there's one lady, I cannot find her for nothing right now. If you see her, she's a white lady. She looked like she's tall. She's got a short haircut. She does really, really deep dives on she lived over in India for a long, long time. So she was very, very immersed in the culture. But she was the first whether it's hatha yoga or hot yoga or whatever, but these people get possessed and they start going crazy after doing this yoga. And so there are a lot of people that, I mean, you can even go on YouTube right now. I don't know where she is, but there's a lot of testimonies that you can find on YouTube about that Kundalini. When it starts rising up in them, that doggone serpent gets a biting on them. Oh, they run to Jesus real quick. New Age, same thing. A lot of these witches, when they get to, okay, so with the Christ consciousness and the New Age teachings, they have beings that they talk to that come down and converse with them. They're called ascended masters. And matter of fact, one of them they claim is Jesus. You know, everybody always claims Jesus is blonde hair, blue eye, long hair. So they have a figure that looks just like that. They call him Maitreya, I want to say. And so again, after these people talk to these ascended beings for a while, and they start telling them their plans and doing this and that, they start running to Jesus. Because at first, a lot of people think this stuff is play. The Ouija boards. Look at the testimony, or listen to the testimonies on the Ouija boards. You know, so I can kind of see why they run to Jesus, but that's because they actually have tried out these other practices and they've seen the consequences. Even Muslims, you know, I don't know why it is, because I really don't hear about it in too many other religions. I don't hear about it like in India or anything like that. But the Lord be giving the Muslims dreams. A lot of them come to the Lord because they had a dream about Jesus. And so if people are willing to listen, the Lord is talking to them. And I mean, I don't know if Lil Nas X had any, I don't know what his upbringing was, but Tamar, just because her dad was a pastor doesn't mean she knows the Lord. But what am I trying to say? Eternal life is a free gift. Salvation is a free gift. So it's there if they want to repent and turn back to him or turn to him. What I know is that a lot of these people don't know that there's an out. They don't know that they can repent and change course. You know, they think that once they sold their soul, then that's it. And that's the unfortunate part about it. Because a lot of these people want to get out, you know, they want to get out. Don't make me tell you what he said when I asked when is April Fool's Day. Oh my gosh. I am afraid, but I want to know. The reason people do witchcraft is because it's very real and you get results from doing it. Exactly. I don't think that people, you know, at some point it would die off if nothing ever happened. So, yeah. I'm not buying the planets thing. Yeah, it's just nothing else. Because I think I looked up planet in the Bible and I don't think that planet is there. Now it talks about wandering stars. but it doesn't say planet. I'm gonna look it up again just to make sure. Yeah, it's not there. But wandering stars is. The star thing is very deep. Yes. Can't wait to I'm sorry, y'all. Um I can't wait to bring it up. I've seen close up stars. They look like beings. What? There's a camera everywhere today. Yeah, there is. And they always make fun of that too. They're always like, you guys can get close up doggone near to see people's license, license plate number, but you can't find these missing children. Y'all got cameras everywhere, but y'all know where these kids went. Hopefully you can hear me now. Hopefully it's not breaking up. I see a lot of that in southern states. It doesn't mean racist right away. A lot of people use it to give notice of their history. Yeah, and I can see that too. I'm going to say Louisiana is a strange place. Cuz the first time I saw things like that, but I wasn't being called a slur or anything like that, was in Louisiana. Like the first time I went to Raising Cane's when it first popped up everywhere, it was around Halloween and we walked in and the white boys in there were in blackface. And I was just like, what? What do we do with this information? But they didn't do, they came in there to get the little chicken and they went about their business. So I don't know. I don't know what they were dressed up as. I don't know if it was a scarecrow or what. She stayed in India. Yeah, she did. And I know somebody got mad at me for my India or for my Hinduism video, but I'm not the one that said y'all have all these gods. Y'all's literature said that y'all have all these gods. So the fact that you worship elephants and their elephant poo, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You got to take that up with the gods that you worship. Sorry, I just had to say that. A lot of people mistakenly think the Civil War was fought over slavery when in fact it was mostly over resources back then. The South basically made everything and the North needed the farming from there. Yeah, and then didn't they get upset when the slaves were getting let go? They weren't for that. They were not for that. Don't play with those boards. Yeah. Leave that stuff alone. Funny you say that. I watched a Muslim testimony recently and he spoke of a dream bringing him to faith. It happens to them all the time. And again, I don't know why it's them in particular. I ain't mad at it, but yeah, that's what happens. And there's tons of testimonies like that. So it was probably gay since he's gay. I don't even know what happened. A free gift, but dang, do you have to do a lot to not lose it? No. Because remember, well, not going to say remember, but Christianity is not Catholicism. Christianity is not works based, it's faith based. Because the whole point of the law was to point us to Christ. It was to show us that there was in no way, shape, or form a way that we could keep the law perfectly. We were going to all fall short and we were going to all be guilty under sin. That's the reason why Jesus came. That's the reason why we have the new covenant. He took all the punishment of the sin upon himself, paid the price for us All we have to do is trust in him and believe in him to have everlasting life. So it's not penance. It's not, you know, going through traditions and rituals and stuff like that. There's nothing for us to do besides believe, repent, and believe. And then he renews our mind. But great question. Great point that I need to expound on. He said it was in the same month as Christmas. Oh my gosh. And you know what's sad? And I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but what's sad is the answers are in the statements themselves. The 4th of July. I mean, it's in there. April's Fool. I mean, it's right there. I feel like I was in a different dimension and saw something I wasn't supposed to see early this morning. Pray tell. Yeah, I know Candy King, like, pray tell, you gotta let us know. I believe we're in a closed system that has different dimensions. Certain celestial beings have access to the different dimensions. Um, I'll be honest, I really don't know how dimensions work. I hear it a lot, but I guess I just have to go off of what the scriptures say about how we are able, there's the third heaven, there's different heavens, and I think Paul was taken up to the third heaven, but it also says that for Jacob, I don't know if you guys remember when Jacob, he had just fought with the angel, he was sleeping, and as he dreamt, he saw a ladder that reached from the earth to heaven. He said that he saw angels descending up and down upon it. So I believe by him saying that, yes, there is a way that these beings get from heaven to earth. And I don't know if that's what's called dimensions or if dimensions is something else. But it seems as though that's what we would consider dimension, especially with the different heavens. Because man, I really wish that video. What video was that I did? And they were breaking down the different planes and what beings were on the different planes. Man, what video was that? But yeah, so it sounds something like that. Seems a lot of petite women use witchcraft as a defense mechanism or people who want to manipulate life. Ooh. That's an interesting observation. I mean, I definitely agree with the people who want to manipulate life for sure, for sure. I guess I see so many different shapes and sizes of witchcraft practitioners of women. But hey, if you see a lot of petite women, shoot. And like you said, maybe they do feel like, I'm gonna say I'm a petite woman, but maybe they feel like they need it. But yeah, a lot of it is just I want this, I want that, and so I'm gonna use witchcraft in order to get it. Oh yeah, Congress said they lost like 150,000 kids from the border. Yeah, people need to ask more questions. And where are their parents at? You would think, and not that they would show us, but you would think that the mamas and daddies would be at the border asking some questions. Or maybe they know what happened to them. Maybe they know. The North also didn't want them freed and have voting representation because they worried the South would have more power in them then. In them then. Well, that's the thing. They've got this plan to dwindle us down, to dwindle down the population, but they're gonna have to save a bit of the population to be the slaves. Yeah. So I can see so it's the same. The history is just repeating itself. Just like there's a lot of people that are upset because the illegals have been deported. And they're not mad because they feel like they should be here. They're mad because they think that, oh, our labor force is going to dwindle. Like, what? He said, hello, that's the point I was making, kids adore. That's sad, though. That's just really, really sad. Because at what point does that happen? Because if I ask my niece, she's 6. If I ask my niece these questions, she's going to know them. She's going to rattle them off to you. She's going to know how to read, write, say her numbers, probably say them in Spanish. She's going to know how to do all these things. So at what point are the kids becoming stupid? And then they're trying to claim, oh, well, um, parents can't homeschool because they don't have the wherewithal pretty much. But the teachers are showing that they don't have the wherewithal to teach these babies. So I feel like I can get you up to algebra 2, college algebra. I might be able to do a little trig with you. And then it's going to end with that. And I might have to get you a tutor after that. But I feel like it would be better than sending my child off into some foolishness. And that's no, I'm not trying to diss, nobody. Because listen, parents got to work. There's nowhere for the kids to go. Plus, socialization. I get it. Socialization. Again, I loved playing sports. All that is needed. But we got to do something about these schools. I had a ritualistic dream where I saw this huge hill with large witches dancing around a fire pit that only produced a fog instead of an actual fire. There was a bunch of fast shadows running out from them. And I saw it was a bunch of these witch looking things, and I was outnumbered and they saw me, so I ran. But when I turned around to run, I literally couldn't see in front of me. I got pissed off. Hold on, I'm gonna jump down and then I'll jump back up. So I stopped running. When I stopped running, I became blind. Then I just yelled, enough. And right before I crashed out and said, God, gonna kill all of you, my voice was gone. Then I woke up after. Wow. It was so realistic. I could feel the pavement as I was running, and I know the exact road and place I was at in real life. I hope you prayed about that when you woke up. And if you didn't, I hope you do now. Because it sounds like somewhere where you got to go or be, or somewhere where you are usually at, has some witches doing some stuff over there. I mean, I'm not a dream interpreter, so but that's what it looked like. That's no pissed off. No, pissed off some Nigerian princess who shared a dorm with the witch doctor in the community college. She's doing voodoo on him while he sleeps. Something. Yeah. I hope that's not what it is, but for real, I would definitely be prayed up about that. Because he might be trying to show you something. How do you lose that many people if not intentionally? Exactly. There's absolutely no way. I bet them kids are in somebody's belly. And I'm sorry to say that. Like 10 years ago, where I live, a lot of videos of thousands of plastic caskets were going viral. I drove by the site to see them. I couldn't believe it till I saw it. Yeah. I think I kind of briefly mentioned that last week. Now I don't know where they took those things, but again, a lot of people said that they were making them for FEMA camps. And then remember, they were gutting out all those Walmarts. And then people started thinking that something was going on with the Walmarts. So I don't know. I told my nephew there's no point in me saving money for you for college. You have no future going there, not knowing when the 4th of July and April Fool's Day is. For real. He needs to pick up a trade. He might need to get handy. He needs to get handy. So, mm-mm. When I woke up, I was angry. So it was like I still remember it like it happened minutes ago. I mean, that's good, especially if you remember it, because dreams, they're so quick to flee. But yeah, I'd be praying about that. Dreams tell you a lot. They sure do. And I really, really admire Daniel and Joseph and all them in the Bible that could interpret dreams. I was like, I want that gift. You'd be surprised how many people are into witchcraft. Yeah, and it's subtle. It's subtle. Oh, yeah, and nope, that's another thing that we talked about. I talked about how Kendra G, she has a dating show and how she's trying to bring a psychic on her show now. And it's like, so, like you said, so many people are into witchcraft and you don't even know it. Witchcraft and superstitions. I remember I was driving around. This is when I was door to door. I had my dealer with me, and we were passing a crosswalk, and she said, "Oh no, we gotta get out and spin around 13 times." And I was looking at her like, "Why? Why would we do that?" But her superstition, her witchcraft, whatever it was, told her that she needed to get out just because we saw a crosswalk and turn around 13 times. I think it was more of a sign, like you said, like a nightmare. It didn't feel like a nightmare, but it literally dimension of what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Pray about it. They go to the Walmart here around the same time. It's still to this day is vacant, but at night lights are often on. It's weird. Wow. We had a lot of neighborhood Walmarts pop up. And I don't even think any of those are still open. But I remember at one time, like right after they closed it down, you would just see all these cop cars there. And so we thought it was like an underground cop convention. And now it's a VA for the veterans. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just remodeling because nothing ever came of that. But that's weird if the lights are just on. I tend to not remember a lot of my dreams. I mean, because they're fleeting, they go really, really fast. When I what I used to do, especially when I really, really wanted the Lord to talk to me in dreams, I just put a notebook by my bed. And so as soon as I woke up, I would try to jot down as much as I could remember. Because yeah, you could. And see, the thing about dreams, from what I understand, is the elements in the dreams are very important, especially how the dream ends is important. The objects in the dream, the people, all that stuff is important. And so, yeah, you want to write them down. Those are three things I hate: being cornered, being jumped, and bullies. I would have whooped they behind, even though they were like 7 feet tall. Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way. Don't threaten me. But yeah. Wow, Kendra G, really? This year seems to be the year of the witchcraft to be fully integrated among the Black American community. Yeah, there's definitely a big push for it. Um, I guess I'm just trying to wonder, because they're trying to get us on Mars by 2030. So things got to move quickly. Things got to move real quick. I don't know what else is going to happen in that year. Not saying anything is going to happen in that year, but they're trying to act quickly. A crosswalk as in an intersection. Yes. Like like the little crosswalk where you have to walk it if you're crossing the street. Yeah, the same thing. I'm curious because witchcraft rituals used in sororities include going to an intersection at night for power. Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy. Now, I haven't heard that before, but I guess the only thing that comes to mind is the crossroads. So I don't know if they're trying to use it as a makeshift crossroads, but you're going there for power. That's the only thing I can think of. And are they meeting someone at the crossroads? Because when people said that they sold their soul and they go to the crossroads, they say that a man actually shows up that they, I guess, are able to sell their soul to, like Robert Johnson. But that's crazy. Not power. But yeah, she did it. She 13 times. I don't know where she learned that from. I don't know who told her. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, stuff was already kind of going downhill, but things went really, really downhill real fast after that. Yeah, there is. There's a God at the crossroads and passing in between or something like that. Yeah, I've heard. I don't know what the name of them is, but yeah. It's the thing that they go to. A lot of the musicians go to the crossroads. And I always thought it was in a particular place because when Robert Johnson talked about it, it was a place, I believe, in Mississippi. Um, I think Route 66 and something in another intersection, and they would go there. And it's even shown in the Jay-Z Justin Timberlake song. In that music video. Oh, what is that song? Oh, the melody is like right there on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, they showed the crossroads in that music video. So that's crazy. Once I became blind, I was angrier than I was afraid. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, because you could see your way out if you could see something, but yeah, just being blind. Yeah, either I feel like you're blind to something or they're trying to blind you to something. Ooh, that dream sounds real deep. But yes, please pray about it. Please do. Power usually leads to compromising oneself in some way to get the trade-off. Exactly. And the thing is, you never know what they're going to ask you to do. And yes, you can say no. But I heard sometimes it's hard to say no once you're in that position, once you're there. Someone said when you're in that dark room at night and you thinking about all the money that you don't have and all that kind of stuff, them deals start sounding real good. When you ain't got no food in the refrigerator, that tummy is rumbling. Oh yeah. Them deals start sounding real tasty. That's the thing. These movies, TV shows, and music tell you what they're doing. They don't hide things that's out in the open. Yeah. And listen, So we all know Jay-Z sold his soul, but Justin Timberlake, he going out sad too. Oh yeah, trying to find my way back home. I don't remember how the melody. I feel like I know the melody. I don't know the words because I don't listen to that. But yeah. Mm-mm. Oh no, that's not him. That was Justin Timberlake in T.I. Wait, what if the entity at the crossroads is really just Anubis from Egypt? It might be because Anubis, part of his job. I'm like, let me look at my notes real quick. Part of his job is to usher people to the underworld. So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Holy Grail. Yeah, I think that's the song. Is it Holy Grail? Oh man. Again, I definitely don't listen to Jay-Z. But now I hold on, let me try to see if I can pull up that video just to see which one. It's either T.I. and Justin Timberlake or it's Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake. Now that I'm sitting and thinking about it, it might be T.I. Yeah, is it Dead and Gone? Is that the song? Okay, I'll pause that and let that play for a second. Um, Poor Justin, he got the Justin Bieber treatment. I guess it's a Justin thing. I don't know. I don't know. Justin, he's still kind of there. But yeah, Justin Timberlake, they said his moves was tired. They said his footwork wasn't footworking and his vocals weren't vocaling. Okay, so forgive me, it was not Jay-Z. It's Justin Timberlake and T.I. in the Dead and Gone video. When he talked about I've been traveling down this road too long, trying to find my way back home. That's it. And he get out and they're in all black. He gets out the car and they're not showing him meet anybody at the crossroads. But again, that's just the legend that's being told. Because at the crossroads they make a deal, but there's has to be equal exchange, life and sacrifice. Same as Anubis, where he weighs the heart of the soul. Yeah. Hmm. That and transmutation. Same thing, the same concept in alchemy. And they had that in the Full Metal Alchemist. So, like he said, like we've been saying, these people are playing out their occult rituals right in front of our face. And the gods and stuff that they worship, all that stuff, it like seeps out your pores. People don't get it. People do not get it. It seeps out your pores. Who is the mascot for the Omegas? Has a dog head. And guess what they do at them parties? Hop around like some dogs. Tongue hanging out their mouth. Half the time, shoot, I remember the parties I used to go to. Sometimes they would just wear the Crown Royal bag. They would just wear the Crown Royal bag on their junk, and that's it. And some boots. E was compared to a pogo stick. Mm. Mhm. So would this be the selling of your soul at which transmutates to a fortune, talent, or good karma? Mm. I don't know. Because I guess again, I'm just thinking about Robert Johnson. He left, came back. He could play the guitar because at first they said he couldn't play a lick, couldn't sing, and then he came back and he could play any song. I don't know if that would be considered good karma though. I mean, that whole concept is something totally different. They're all into butt stuff. Yeah. Tons of celebrities have sudden deaths in their families. Yeah. And they do. I think people get upset because once these celebrities' families die, it's always being chunked up to sacrifices. Um, and I don't think it's that at all. I think it's what's surrounding it and then what always seems to come after. Oh. I hated to see it, but somebody on Cat Williams' tour just got killed like yesterday while they were on tour. I don't know why he got killed. I don't know what the thing was, but it's stuff like that where people are like, Cat, you've been in the industry for quite a minute. You might have to pay your dues, sir. Okay, maybe that's just what I thought. Nope, it was right. It was right. They would have nothing but boots on, ass out, Crown Royal bag. They made a movie about him at the crossroads. Yeah, they did. I mean, but he's praised a lot, especially, I mean, he's praised a lot of music. And if you notice a lot of people that they do praise, they've all dabbled in some type of occult. I think we talked about Frank Sinatra the other week. They love some Frank Sinatra, and he was all about the Aleister Crowley motto. Actually, it wasn't Aleister Crowley whose motto he just made it famous. But do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I think it's all about the deal and contract they make. It's up to them to negotiate if they get a bad deal. It's on them. There's almost always a sacrifice involved. But do you think that they put that in the actual contract, or do you think it's something that they find out later on? Because from the testimonies that I've read, it wasn't until they went to the city under the water and they actually met with Lucifer, and then he pulls out the red book, and the red book was like, what do they call it? I don't know if they call it the book of sacrifice or what they call it, but anyways, that's the book that you put the family members on, the friends on, that you don't mind, just take them up out of here. And so I guess my question is it in the contract, or is this something extra that these people get themselves into when they decide that they want more? Because these people are willingly going to the city under the ocean. Supernatural did an episode. Oh, okay. On him at the crossroads. They tell you this stuff openly in movies and people too stupid to catch it. I did not know that. I didn't know Supernatural did an episode. But like they said, Supernatural. That show is about a lot of witchcraft. I'll say that. I think they know there's a price to be paid for what they're getting, but maybe they aren't 100% aware until the time comes due. Mm. I guess it's just hard for me to believe that many people are evil in that way. Like, I know deep in my heart, after 40 years of being in the business, I'm gonna have to give somebody up, like that, and people are okay with that. It could be bother depending on the person. Oh, it could be both depending on the person. Yeah. Many of them speak about making deals with the devil. Yeah, they do. There's a guy right now. I didn't get a chance to look at his testimony. He's another little something. What's his name? Lil I don't know if y'all have seen it. He looks real bright. I don't know if he's Hispanic or what. I don't even know what he does, but he just started speaking out about it. I got to watch his testimony and see what he says. But he was talking about how the devil came and was speaking to him. What is that guy's name? I've never seen him before. Let me see if I can pull him up. Little Tony. I don't know who this young man is, but he's going viral right now because he's speaking on his encounter with the devil. Yeah, so I'll check out his little story. I'm not gonna say little story. I'll check out his story after this, but I don't know who he is. Mm-mm. You got to think these people don't pull the ideas for movies and shows out of the hat. Most of it's based on real things. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But there's one thing that is for sure. They tell you ahead of time so you do know exactly the terms of agreement. Oh, like Eve was told exactly what would happen. She just overlooked the deceptive wording. I mean, that's true. That's a good point. Mm. I don't know. I got to see one of these little contracts. I got to see what the heck they're signing. All the humans are faulted, and sadly, money corrupts. Most people have a price, and the money and riches that these people know are coming their way. Surely, a lot are going to make the deal. Exactly, because again, they get their. I stuttered all through that. They get you when you're down and out. When you're like, where's my money gonna come from? Where's my food gonna come from? How am I gonna put a roof over my head? How am I gonna feed my family? You look extra vulnerable to these people. They're like, oh, he's desperate. She's desperate. They'll do anything to get a sandwich. I guess that's why the Lord says, be anxious for nothing, but in all things, in prayer and supplication, make your request made to the Lord. Make your request known to the Lord. Probably because he knows when you get to being desperate and you start asking any old entity for help, dunzo. Lil Tony. See, you be knowing. I don't know this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he's a rapper or what. They booked me for a photo shoot. Yeah, I gotta watch that. Eliteness probably helped them place values on folks to sacrifice. Mm, that's crazy. I know. Just like imagine that. I'd be like, what the hell you put me on your sacrifice list for? Why me? I'd be so pissed. Mm-mm. Only a short-term thinker would take the deal, though, because eternity is a lot longer than what they would get here for a short time. Yep. But again, they said that we shouldn't be thinking about eternity. We should be thinking about how we're living right now. That's what they say. What? His story was crazy. He's talking about they wanted to have sex with him and he'd catch HIV or something like that. What? And their three agent dudes said, he said when he wanted to go home, their faces opened up like aliens. It's a wild story, but he still looked like he's eventually caved into the deal. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not good. Mm-mm. I know a guy that made some wild claims about what he was offered and what he turned down for a shot at things. He spoke in detail about what he could have had, but didn't want to pay the price. Mm. And these little demons, they don't mind putting it out there either. They don't care what they ask you for. And they're bold about it. Way too bold. Oh, I thought he was capping until he showed me pictures of him in the room with some big players. Oh my goodness. Mm. Little ghetto rapper. Okay. There's way too many rappers out. I can't keep up. I just don't see the value in having it all here on earth but nothing after. No. But I mean, but again, if you have these people have no hope. They don't believe in the hereafter. So it doesn't to them it doesn't matter what they do here on earth. Like I'm thinking, when I die, comes to judgment. I got to give account for every word, every thought, every deed. But these people are like, no. It's like the banking system, them loans sound cool initially. They sure do. They sure do. Until you find out about compound interest and all that. It reminds me of Super Hot Fire, who was a mad popular on YouTube back in the day. Then he said he was invited out to Hollywood to further his career. Next thing you know, he came back home from Cali, and I'm afraid I've actually never heard of that name. But yeah, definitely don't go. Have you ever seen the award shows where celebrities thank Lucifer? Oh yeah. Jack Black, he thanks Lucifer, I feel like every chance that he gets. Christian Bale, I've seen him thank Lucifer on the award shows. I mean, even not award shows. Lady Gaga has sworn to Lucifer on a talk show before. Um, Brad Pitt is an open Satanist. He likes to thank Satan. Who else have I seen? I don't know if he was just playing, but Jim Carrey. I know they say that he's a high priest out in California. I don't know if he still is, but at one time they said he was. He's definitely gone on and said some questionable things. Yeah, I've seen him. And they're not playing either. That's the thing about it. They're not playing. made a YouTube video talking about his deleting his whole channel. They wanted to do gay stuff, and he said he ain't want to do any of that and hated this and what he worked so hard to get to. That's messed up. That's so messed up. You think everybody wants your little funky dingling on their backside? These people make me sick. These people make me so sick with that stupid mess. Casting couch and all that. Ew. Look at these ugly Weinstein looking folks, Dan Snyder looking folks want to suck on your toes and have you get down for a movie role. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? And then you're doing it with everybody that you come across. Everybody don't even watch their behind good, and that's what you want. Hell no. I don't see. Listen, I know Tandy, what's her name? Tandy Newton. I hate to call her out, but she's one of the people that has admitted to being on the casting couch. Like, you wanted it that bad, girlfriend? That's what you wanted? And she petite and tall. They probably had her all in a pretzel. Got me hot. Think about this stuff. Like, imagine you just want to do what you're talented to do. And then somebody come with a little Willy Wonka. I don't think so. When you're feeling down and life isn't going as you want, remember there's some failed SoundCloud rapper from your hometown contemplating doing butt stuff for a record. But you know what? I'd rather be a failed SoundCloud rapper. I just have to be it. You know? Come visit me out at my at the Walmart where I'm working, you know, whatever. That's why you haven't heard of him. He literally destroyed his entire career, but he came back years later. Now celebs joined his skits, and I was like, dang, I think he caved. Oh, really? And guess who I've seen him with before? Aiden Ross. He was in a boxing match at one of Aiden Ross's live stream events. Ooh-wee. So sad, so sad. I'd rather live my life who I am than a fake bozo flashing money. Exactly. Exactly. But y'all, that's what it is. That's what's going on. Stay vigilant. I'm gonna get on off of here. My phone is about to die. But let me say thank you for everybody that came out tonight. Doesn't matter if you say anything or not. I appreciate you being here, but thank the ones who do join the conversation. Keep this thing going. Thank you so much for your support on the Patreon. I think last week someone was saying right when we're logging off, they said they want to do more of these. Definitely would love to do more lives. I just got to find a space. I need to find more time to carve out. I'm already kind of running here and there and all that kind of stuff. So I'll do my best to try to drum up something like that, and we'll get that going a little bit more often. Egypt is coming up. Still researching and writing that, but like I said, I want it to be good and packed and full. And then we'll have a discussion on it. You said your YouTube short of them dancing in front of those statues shocked me. We really in the end game. Yeah. And look how I don't know why, I'm just baffled by it, but look how huge they were. I like, again, I'm just thinking about the scripture where, you know, at the sound of the harp and the sorcery and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna have to bow down. It's gonna be so easy, just like these guys, they can go to Mecca and bow down in front of the Kaaba. These statues are so big. Look how many people that they had out there that can that can bow down and worship these things at one time. It's just ridiculous. Really, I know, right? I agree. I agree. Always nice to be here. I truly look forward to these knowledge dump group think sessions. I do too. I really do. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try to do more. I might even turn, I've been trying to do the morning dives and stuff like that. For Patreon, I might even turn those into live sessions, maybe like do a little quick live in the mornings and stuff like that. But let me dwell on that a little bit more. 'Cause like I said, I already don't have enough time to do what I'm doing, but I definitely want to get more content out. So yeah, like the giants that Joshua fought. Yes, these people know something. These are not just their imaginations being drummed up. These people have known and seen something. So it's crazy. There's no hiding what those things are used for. No, but I do know that it's idol worship is part. That's what it is, partly. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys get a good rest. Nope, stay prayed up. You let us know what happened with that dream, because that sounded like some stuff. Joshua's battles is one of my favorite parts of the Bible. Yeah. I love when it says, be strong and have good courage. Like that's all we need to do is be strong and have good courage. Um, so I think that's a good place to leave it, y'all. Have a great week. Be strong and have good courage. Stay prayed up. And we will talk soon. Thank you so much. Have a good night.